we want to know where the youths really are at this moment, what the youth should be doing at this moment. How do we strengthen the ties between Nigeria and the United States? Where do we go from here? We just really need to get a different view from younger persons when it comes to the situation in Nigeria at this time. So I'll kick off the question with, at what point, does it become legitimate for Nigerian communities to take their own security into their own hands? If the state keeps failing them, at what point do they now take their own laws into their own hands? I'll begin from you in the studio, and then we'll go to Mr. Fimba. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for this very important question. And I like the idea that you use the term communities instead of citizens. And I believe that this is the right time that the Nigerian communities should bear their arms to protect themselves. This is in line with relevant provision of our constitutions. For instance, Section 14, Sub 2, Paragraph B of the Nigerian Constitution clearly stated that the primary responsibility of the government is to provide security and welfare for its citizens. It is palpable that the Nigerian government has failed to carry out its constitutional duty, not only constitutional duty, a primary role. And in view of that, Section 33, Sub 2, Paragraph A of our Constitution clearly stated that citizens have right to defend themselves. And even if you kill somebody in the course of defending yourself, that killing is justifiable, it is lawful. And if you read certain articles of the African Charter on Humans and People Rights, it clearly provided that the citizens, communities, have right to defend themselves. So I believe that since the government failed to carry out its constitutional roles to provide adequate security for our communities, it is right time that the communities, not citizens, I'm very careful to use the word citizens because I don't want a situation whereby every citizen will bear an arm. But communities can come together and empower certain individuals to defend their community. If we can do that, before you realize this issue of insecurity will be reduced drastically.
I will come back to you on this stance because I have a follow-up question. But let's get to Mr. Fimba. Go ahead.
Yeah, as soon as, you see, when we talk about the legitimacy of our self-defense, that even having this conversation means that the social contract has broken down. It means that there is a failure of the states to protect its citizens, which is the fundamental right of every citizen to enjoy. And it is within the powers of the state to protect them, inasmuch as the Constitution provides for self-defense, but it is only the Nigerian state that has full powers to be able to wield and control use of arms for citizens to defend themselves. But at the moment, communities are being ransacked. People are being killed, who are having kidnappings, who are having so many cases. And the people are feeling very frustrated. The people are feeling hopeless at this particular point in time. And so the options before them is within the context of self-defense. But again, even as we are calling for the citizens, well, my brother has avoided the word citizens, for communities to defend themselves, it still has to be done within the legal framework. And so this is my suggestion, that we must have local solutions to these issues, that the people that are selected by the local communities to man the defensives of their villages, of their clans, of their communities, must be, structured within a legal framework and monitored, whether they are vigilante groups, whether they are security cells, whatever they are, under the supervision of our state apparatus, whether it's the police, whether it's the DSS. But what we must have is that we must not create another problem, trying to solve an existing problem. And so I think that communities are feeling very helpless at the moment, and self-defense is the only option open and available to them at this point in time. And I'm urging all citizens to be vigilant. This is not time to feel very hopeless and helpless against non-state actors that are trying to take over legitimate land, properties of people, are killing people in churches and in different places. This is not time for us to cower in the face of this terrorism. All citizens must be up on deck, their hands must be on deck to ensure that we rescue our land. And so I'm opting for the fact that we have that self-defense solution, but within a legal framework so that it can be monitored, that we don't have another set of people take advantage of the situation we found ourselves in.
All right, staying with you, Mr. Fimba, why does it feel like the governors and local government chairmen and councillors are almost invisible in this security fight? And what exactly is the constitutional responsibility of these individuals, and how do they really come into the fore right now?
On the issues of state governors or even local council chairmen being invisible as far as security matters are concerned, I think there are two issues. Number two is the lack of political will. We already know that state government that only operates operationally on paper, because they actually do not control the operational framework of the military, of the police, and other security apparatus within their domain. And so everything rests on the federal government. And can a governor change his commissioner of police and all of that? These are issues we've been debating on a daily basis. And on a second thought, the governors cannot in themselves be hopeless, because they also have powers and authority as chief executive to gather intelligence, to be part of the security briefings, and to be briefed upon, and to take very credible action to address the security situation in their domains. And so they cannot also be completely invisible. But what we've seen at the moment is that we're having waves and waves.
Mr. Fimba, we're going to come back to you shortly. Mr. Fimba, we'll come back to you shortly. Let me come to Barrister Sanusi down here in the studio. Quickly, you've heard what he said. Where does the issue of state policing come in at this time? Also, where do we have a case in which, in these states where we have the prevalence of kidnapping, banditry, and all these things, is it time for a state of emergency? Should the nation, for the government, rather, place a state of emergency and say, hey, it is time to take things, straight to the people who are trying to fight this nation and, oust us from our peace?
I broadly agree that it is high time that the president declare a state of emergency on issue of insecurity in this country, as clearly provided under Section 305. The president has constitutional power to do so when the nation is in imminent danger, and Nigeria is in imminent danger now. You can see that virtually all the northern governors, they are trying to shut down public schools. Mm-hmm. This is an imminent danger to our existence as a nation. So I believe that it is high time that the president should declare a state of emergency. This is a serious issue, more than what transpired in Rivers State. Mm. And regarding issue of constitutional role of governors, the governors, constitutionally speaking, does not have specific role as far as our constitution is concerned. Issue of security is clearly spelled out under exclusive list. It is only the federal government has constitutional power to legislate and to take action on issue of insecurity. So my fear with issue of state policing is that these governors that we have may use that state apparatus to be using it intimidating opponents. Mm. So that is the only fear. If not because of that fear, and I know our governors can do worse than that. Instead of using the security to protect citizens, they will resort to use security to intimidate the opponents, I will have suggest that we should, now it is high time that we embark on issue of state policing. Nevertheless, we should review the framework. If it is practically possible, we should resort to issue of state policy so that we can, our citizens can be protected at all times. So that is my take.
All right, I think it's time for a break. We're going to be taking a break right now. And when we come back, we'll be going into deeper issues when it comes to U.S.-Nigeria relations, the issue of repentant Boko Haram, some of the extra things that the youth must be doing at this time. And then we might also delve into some of the issues with regards to Nnamdi Kanu and the future of what Nigeria should be when it comes to a sane nation. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Stay with us.